Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our weekday video posts. Last week, we had a weather-related theme, kind of, in terms of, or nature-related at least, in terms of the garden and weeding the garden being analogous to our practice. And this week, or at least today, I'd like to bring in the weather and what we can learn about the Buddha's teachings from the weather. I'm a bit of a self-claimed weather nerd, and so I keep track of things like the length of the days and how quickly the days are getting longer or shorter, etc. And as you may know, the summer solstice is on June 20th or so, and then the very next day, the days start to get shorter. And in the beginning, the first few days, they get shorter at a very slow rate, like just a couple seconds a day. But then it picks up pace, and the days get shorter at an increasing rate as time goes on, all the way to the fall equinox. And so what's interesting is that, on June 21st, the days start to get shorter. But it isn't till sometime, like the first or second week of August, that the temperature actually, a little bit, starts to go down. And so all through July, all through the last part of June, all through July, and all through the beginning of August, it's warm and even getting a little warmer. Yet the sunlight is getting lower. And so we might think that, well, all of a sudden on the second week of August, when things start to get cooler, all of a sudden now we have a lower sun, and that's why. Well, we do have a lower sun, but it's been getting lower all along. And this is analogous to how sometimes we don't see really clear outward evidence of our practice kind of, quote, progressing. And yet there are kind of internally things are often shifting. And sometimes, so that's one thing, sometimes things are shifting inside and work is happening and it's not quite manifesting outwardly yet. But also sometimes and often the change is slow over time, just like the day length, in this case, getting shorter over time, just seconds and seconds a day, but it adds up. And there is this very good analogy, and I don't think this comes from the suttas, but it's a good analogy about going out in a very dense fog. So if you were to go out in a dense fog and stay out there, after maybe, a number of hours, it would take a while, maybe 6 or 7 hours, you would be completely drenched, as though, you stood in a shower. But over those 6 or 7 hours, it would happen so slowly that you wouldn't even be aware of it. And this is analogous to how the practice, this works on us slowly. Every day we do the practice. Moments of mindfulness, moments after moments of mindfulness. Seconds of daylight getting shorter and shorter until we're completely saturated. And then we realize, oh, I'm wet. And then we realize, oh, look, that situation where I used to be reactive, I'm not reactive anymore. Or, oh, look, my heart is so much more open. Or, oh, look at that. I'm much more equanimous in terms of pleasant and unpleasant, and am demanding much less on life to be different than it is. And so it can be really, really common and easy for people, especially in the first, say, decade of practice, to feel like nothing's happening. Maybe in the beginning there's some big kind of revelations, and then as we settle into practice, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, like I kind of plateaued and nothing much else is happening. Well, this can be that time where things are starting to shift inwardly, assuming we're continuing to practice consistently. Things are shifting inwardly, and they just quite haven't manifested outwardly yet. But they're actually happening just the same. Just like now, July 13th. Not any cooler. In fact, it feels like it's getting hotter. We're getting more into summer, yet things are shifting. The sun is getting lower. Every day it's getting lower, and at an increasing rate. And at some point, that sun getting lower is going to manifest. And about the second week in August, on average, it will begin to manifest as cooler temperatures. And this is lawfully, it must happen. There is no way the sun can continue to get lower in the sky and the temperatures not go down. There is no way that we can continue to practice and cultivate mindfulness and not have it manifest. We may not be able to see it manifesting. At times, it might be inwardly, but it's happening. So when you have that, next time you have that thought, nothing is happening, replace it with, I can't observe what's happening in terms of my practice. And maybe just know that, yes, something is happening. Speaking of practice, let's do some of the formal practice now. Cultivate mindfulness. Cultivate that mind state that is indispensable as we cultivate the Eightfold Path. So letting your eyes gently come to close, inviting the body to soften and widen, like a thick liquid, like honey being poured out onto a countertop, dropping, settling, and widening. Become aware where your body is in contact with something, the floor, the chair. Use those places of contact to start to become aware of your body somatically. Start to feel it. And especially where we're in contact with something below us, we can feel the support and let go, relax further into that support. Kind of this sense of being held. Feeling the body. Not looking to feel anything special. Whatever we feel is fine. It's more that we feel. Because every moment of body awareness in this way, physical body awareness, not a thought or an idea or a judgment about our body, but a direct somatic connection. Every moment of that is a moment of mindfulness. Mindfulness of body. The Buddha said, the whole universe can be known in this fathom-long body. Now the body's softening, settling, widening. Now let your attention also soften, settle, and widen so that it settles down into the body and widens to fill the whole body. You're not just noticing the contact points now, you're sort of feeling the whole body all at once. And it can be interesting just to experiment. Can you feel your big toe? Are there sensations that you can feel? Can you feel your back? Maybe so, maybe not, but it's more this sense of bringing your attention to the whole body. The more relaxed we are in the body, but also with the attention, soft attention, the more we can start to apprehend our body, experience our body as a field of tiny, pinpoint, changing sensations. We could give the words tingling or vibrating, buzzing to this experience. Mindfulness is being strengthened, cultivated every moment that we're aware of the body in this way. Connecting with this kind of shimmering or pulsing field of sensations that we would give the concept body to. This is not a conceptual experience, it's a direct somatic experience. And within this field of changing sensations, we can experience what we would give the concept breath to. The sensations of breath are not separate from this field, but occur as part of it, within it. You get a sense of that. Rejoicing when the attention comes back from being lost in thought, lost in the mind-made world, back into somatic reality. Good to go ahead and relax the body at these times. You wake up from being lost in thought. Relax the body and let the attention sink back into the body. Connect with the sensations of body. And really kind of just pick up where you left off. No need to have a sense of starting over. enjoying moments where the attention rests with the calm body. Enjoying the mindfulness and the relative lack of wanting and not wanting in the heart and mind during these moments. Right now, check your, what we would call kind of your attitude as you just end this short meditation period. Is it, my mind was all over the place. That was a terrible meditation. That was a waste of time. Or same experience now. Oh, I had some moments of mindfulness in there. Great. I know that that's going to be supportive and lead my practice onwards. Check that out. How are you relating to your practice? So much helpful to relate to it the latter way. And so as you go about your day today, and you're all of a sudden you become aware of walking, and maybe that thought comes up in the mind. It's like, what good is this to me when I'm walking? Tiny, tiny moments that add up, drop by drop by drop by drop, and start to gain momentum, just like the light gaining momentum in terms of getting, lower, less light. Starts out tiny, imperceptible, but it gains momentum, and over time, after some period of time, really start to see more and more results. So I wish that for you today, that you can have moments like that, and that your heart and mind can meet whatever life brings up with compassion and equanimity. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.